Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly update on the Miami real estate market. It's getting warm here in South Florida. It's now May 12th, and we're starting to get some hot temperatures. Even my dogs are seeking shelter. They're usually lying out there by the pool. To South Florida. Now, as we enter the summer peak season, it's single family peak season. So we're going to talk today about a neighborhood that's very, very popular in Miami, primarily single family homes. It's called Pinecrest. It's known for great school district, highly desirable school district, large houses, large lots, 15,000 square feet up to acres. And it's East Dade County, east of US 1, high, so it's not in a flood zone. So it's a very popular area, this single family season that we have here in Pinecrest. So some more reasons. Why are we choosing Pinecrest today? Peak season, like I just mentioned, March through July. So it's very relevant right now. Number two, we talked about the Pinecrest School District. And number three, we have a new listing there. And in just a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, Zyrell is going to share a little bit about this brand new Pinecrest listing. The Miami Heat is up 3-2 against the New York Knicks right now, so we're very happy about that. We'll see what happens in their next game coming up. The Florida Panthers hockey team are up against the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1, so we're very happy about that. We just had the Formula One race here in Miami, which seems in only its second year, I believe, like it's really gaining traction. I'm seeing more and more locals here in Miami attending the F1 race. So that seems like it's going to be a great event for years to come. I'm hoping for South Florida. So let's go ahead and feature our new listing. Zyrell is going to share the drone video with us and see why we think it's such a great property. Thank you, Zyrell. So there we see all the amenities around the house within walking distance to all of these shops and restaurants. So it's a very city life type of atmosphere, very walkable, right? You don't have to get in your car on the weekends. You can just walk to everything. In addition, it's got the Pinecrest School District that we just talked of. So basically, we're calling it Pinecrest Schools with Coconut Grove vibe. It's got lots of beautiful tropical plants surrounding it, some fruit trees, and it's a nice piece of land. And Zyrell, if you could show us the interior updates, this is one of the best remodels that I've ever seen in my 22 years in the business. And it's an engineer who has done this remodel. I mean, incredible attention to detail. As you look at some of the pictures here, maybe you could show us some additional ones. Here's the kitchen, dining room area. You see the grovey nature that I just mentioned, open floor plan, lots of natural light, beautifully staged. The air conditioning is VFR, I believe is the name, VFR air conditioning, which is more costly. Oh, look at that. Master bedroom, gorgeous panoramic window views. Look at the primary bathroom there with the barn doors that slide open. Clerestory windows are beautiful there. Here you've got more, just really, look at that. It's turnkey. If you've ever wanted a turnkey property, this is a turnkey home. Again, with the Pinecrest School District, Nice piece of land, beautiful canopy around there, lots of vegetation, got the jacuzzi, it's got a gorgeous deck. Here's the back of the house, looking at the back. Room for a pool if you wanted to put a pool in there as well. Nice overhang over the outdoor dining area there, so you have protection from the sun and the rain. Beautiful drive up along the gravel driveway here, the coral rock wall there in the front. Really gorgeous home. Can we get the address there, Zyrel? Did we show the address so people can take a peek at it? I think we'll get that to you in just a moment.
Yes.
So while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and I will share a little bit. So we've seen the interior, we've seen the drone of our listing of the week in Pinecrest. The asking price for that is 1.699. Again, 1,699,000. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, turnkey, magazine quality, as you can see. I'd be happy to show it to you. My number, you see it right here on the backdrop behind me on the Zoom background, 786-326-8115. Now, back to the market update for Pinecrest. What's happening in Pinecrest? I'm going to share our screen right over here. Okay, so the address, by the way, for that property is 12031 Southwest 82nd Avenue, Pinecrest. 12031 Southwest 82nd Avenue in Pinecrest. So I am going to share with you now. Zyrel, can you see the trend graphics here?
Still waiting. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, great. So here we're looking at Pinecrest. This is MLS, the multiple listing service that we have for all the listings that are on the market for sale. But here it is in graph format, right? So we're looking at only single family homes right here on the left, between $1 and $2 million in Pinecrest, which is the area I mentioned. So basically 6 months is considered a neutral market where neither the seller nor the buyer has the advantage, meaning it would take 6 months to sell the inventory if nothing else came on the market. Excuse me. And the way you can see that is here we are in April just passed. There were 12 homes available in the light green. 7 went under contract by the red line, and 4 in the dark green closed. So you've got basically 11 being consumed, 11 homes being consumed, 12 on the market. So if you want to see how many months of inventory there are, you simply divide 12 divided by 4 homes that closed would give you 3 months of inventory if nothing else came on the market. So let's see what we have. Am I right? Yes, 3 months of inventory we had in April for Pinecrest homes, single family, between 1 and 2 million. So we're going to do a different price range in a second. So this means that sellers have the advantage. Count on the fact that there may be more than one offer on a property when you see a house that you like, because it is a seller advantage. Now, if we look at the previous months, we talked about how March through July are the peak months for single family, especially in Pinecrest. And that bears out here when you look at the data. Again, 6 months is a neutral market. Less than 6 months, seller market, seller advantage. Over 6 months, buyer's market, buyer's advantage. So we see in February, it was 14 months of inventory. So it was a decided buyer advantage. And then as soon as, like clockwork, as soon as March comes, boom, we're down to 3.8 months of inventory, and now 3 months in April. And I would imagine that's going to continue for the next 2 months or so. Then you can contrast that with the slowest time of year, typically speaking, for single family, in Pinecrest at least, 17 months of inventory we had in last December of 2022. So again, how does that bear out? You can see the supply in December was high compared to only 1 sale. So 17 divided by 1 sale is 17 months of inventory. So that gives us a snapshot of 1 to 2 million. Excuse me. Now let's look at 2 to 3 million. How does that bear out? So 2 to 3 million, Pinecrest single family. Is it 3 months of inventory? No, it is 7 months of inventory, if memory serves. Let's take a look at this. 7 months of inventory in the $2 to $3 million range in Pinecrest. So 6 months they say 5 to 7 is a neutral market. I've always heard 6 months, but it depends. Say 5 to 7, consider that neutral. So 7 months, it's neutral, slightly on the buyer advantage side. And contrast that once again with November, December, when you had 30 and 24 months respectively of inventory. Definite buyer advantage at that point. And then you look back to the last year, March through July, that's where you had 2.5 months, 1.5 months, 3 months, incredible seller advantage last peak season. So here we are entering this peak season. You're seeing that there's double the amount of inventory. Still not total buyer advantage by any stretch. It's still like a neutral market, but it's not what it was last year, right? You've had the interest rate hike since then. But what does this mean? It means there's more selection for buyers today. It means that buyers in this price range of 2 to 3 million versus last year when they were competing against multiple offers, even in the 2 to 3 million range. Now you've got, it's more of a neutral market where you've got a bit more selection to look at. So that's 2 to 3 million. Let's see what Pinecrest 3 to 4 million is looking like. One would imagine, if one were to assume, one would imagine that you'll see fewer buyers for 3 to 4 than 2 to 3, and then you would see less, say more inventory. But that is an assumption that is not accurate on my part. Here you're seeing that in April just passed, in 3 to 4 million, it was a seller advantage, 3.3 months of inventory in April. Then in March, you had 12 months. February, you had 11 months. January, 5 months. 3 months in December. So this is really counterintuitive in terms of the months and the amount of inventory. But you do see, by and large, you're seeing numbers greater than 6 more often in this graph. Let's see what that looks like in terms of actual what's available. So here in April, we're seeing a spike in buyer deals. 4 went under contract between 3 and 4 million. 4 more closed in April. So that's lots of activity. Compare that to, so 8 total consumed versus March, where you saw 5 total consumed. February, only 1 went under contract. So it gives us an idea what's going on in the 3 to 4 million. Now let's say 4 million and above and stop it there. What is 4 million plus, all the way, no limit? Pinecrest single family, what would you guess would be is it a seller or a buyer advantage in that category? So we're seeing here a buildup over the last 14 months, consistent buildup of inventory, it looks like. 20 months last year at this time in April. This year in April, we had a little bit over 2.5 times as much inventory. So more sellers in the 4 million and up competing with each other for the 7 deals that were consumed, either going under contract or closing last month in April. So what does that look like if we divide 51 divided by 4 closings? That's going to give us 12.8 months of inventory in April. So here, what are we saying? We're saying that it's over $4 million is a buyer's market in Pinecrest, buyer advantage in Pinecrest. How was it same month, April of 2022? It was a seller advantage, April of 2022. One could argue 6 times better based on the fact that there was 2 months of inventory in April of 2022 versus 13 months of inventory in April 2023. So hopefully that gives you some clarity on what's happening in the Pinecrest single family market. The takeaway here is to be on the market now if you are a Pinecrest seller, on the market now because you've got 60 days of runway left. If you look back at the previous graphs here, what happens when you see July? You see the spiking activity, increased sales in March of last year, April, May, June, it dropped off there. You had a slight spike in October, but the lowest inventory is in the peak season, March through July, and you see the highest amount of buyer deals happening. So right now is a great time to be on the market. If I can be of assistance to you, my website, our website is showcasemiami.com. That's showcasemiami.com. Keller Williams Capital Realty here in Miami, 22 years experience, with just no obligation whatsoever. If you want to talk about a different price point in Miami, a different neighborhood here in Miami-Dade County, I'll be happy to do this analysis for you and go granular to show you where I think you should be positioned if you did want to sell in the next 2 to 3 months. So hopefully this was informative to you folks. Look forward to seeing you for our next one next week. We'll be talking about a different market, a different neighborhood here in Miami, either Coconut Grove, Coral Gables, or Brickell. So it's great spending some time with you, and be well. Take care. Jason Smith, 786-326-8115. 786-326-8115. Thank you.